From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We've had some very light snow flurries across the area throughout our Monday. Satellite and radar still shows a couple of isolated snow showers falling around the Lansing area. Otherwise, we are beginning to dry things out, but widespread cloud cover remaining in place. Temperatures at 33 degrees in Lansing and Jackson, 34 the current temperature in Mason, Charlotte, and up in St. John's as well. Our cloud cover will actually decrease as we go throughout the overnight hours, so it is going to be another chilly night across mid-Michigan before warm weather and sunshine returns to the forecast. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
Demolition is nearly complete, but tonight some people are still hoping to save part of Old Eastern High School. It is our top story today at 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. Protesters are back out at the site tonight, hoping to salvage whatever they can from the school. And that's where we find our Zach Priest. He joined us now live from Lansing with updates from both sides of this debate. Zach, what can you tell us?
Thanks. Back in 2019, the final graduating class ever walked out of this building right here, the old Lansing Eastern High School. That was only 3 years after it was purchased by Sparrow Health. Well, Sparrow Health is now called U of M Health Sparrow, and they've announced that they plan to build a mental health facility on these grounds. People who turned out tonight say they are worried that important relics from the school, like the dome-shaped section of the roof, won't be saved. U of M Sparrow says certain items will be saved, but protesters say the hospital could do more to save these important pieces. Sponsored bricks, auditorium seats, and light fixtures are some of the items that are being preserved. They also say they will make every effort to save the domed portion, as well as a stone arch. Items like the original cornerstone, as well as bricks engraved with the names of donors, have also been saved and will be displayed at the memorial garden that is planned for the site. However, protesters are unsatisfied, saying other items are of the most importance.
They also said that they removed lighting. Well, sure, some lighting, but the most valuable lighting, the 1930s Art Deco chandeliers, for example, there are 16 of them still hanging in the auditorium. I think it's outrageous. Yeah, you toss us a few bricks. You could get bricks anywhere. What does that signify?
And U of M Health Sparrow says they've also salvaged a large conference table and will be giving some bricks from the building to the Lansing School District to use however they choose. Reporting live in Lansing, Zach Priest, 6 News.
Thank you, Zach. President Trump announced today that the U.S. will impose a 25% tariff on any country that buys oil and gas from Venezuela. The administration says the Venezuelan government is sending gang members into the United States. It is the basis for President Trump's decision to declare some Venezuelan migrants enemy combatants and deporting them without due process. Erica Brown is here for you with more on the administration's efforts to carry out its mass deportation plan.
The Trump administration says it's extraditing 3 Venezuelan migrants with alleged ties to the Tren de Aragua gang who were detained as part of the Alien Enemies Act.
We're getting the bad ones out first, and we're taking them out. And there's some really bad ones, murderers.
The administration is appealing a judge's temporary block of the president's use of the Alien Enemies Act, which allows for quick deportations without due process.
We're now not even just getting the worst of the worst out. We're making sure that there's consequences for being here and committing crimes in our communities.
Sunday night, the administration carried out more deportations directly to Venezuela without invoking the Wartime Act after reaching a deal with that country. During a cabinet meeting Monday, President Trump praised efforts to secure the southern border and to slash the size of the government.
Our country was riddled with fat, like no country probably anywhere in the world, and we're getting rid of the fat.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced plans to do away with the agency tasked with helping people after a natural disaster strikes.
We're going to eliminate FEMA, so we've got a lot to do.
The Trump administration is also appealing a court order to rehire more than 16,000 federal workers laid off during their probationary period, asking the Supreme Court to step in. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Attorney General Dana Nessel, along with the former director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, spoke out today about the Trump administration's decision to shut the bureau down. The CFPB oversees big financial institutions, and they follow consumer protection laws. In early February, the Trump administration ordered the agency to halt nearly all of its work. Last month, Attorney General Nessel joined a coalition of 23 attorneys general to warn against efforts by the Trump administration and Elon Musk to defund and disband the CFPB.
This administration's efforts to destroy the CFPB will prevent consumers from being able to report issues of fraud or deception. And aspiring scammers are surely taking notice right now that the Trump administration has made it much harder to get caught when they decide to defraud American consumers.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was formed in response to the financial crisis back in 2007 and 2008 and the Great Recession. It is an independent bureau within the Federal Reserve. Well, gas prices remain high after setting a new 2025 high of $3.19 over the weekend. AAA says Michigan drivers are now paying an average of around $3.17 for regular unleaded, which is up 13 cents from a week ago, 9 cents more than this time last month, and 41 cents less than this time last year. Drivers are paying an average of $47 for a full 15-gallon tank of gas. It is the end of an era as the Lansing Art Gallery announces that it's closing its doors for good in April after a 60-year run. Officials say that despite months of efforts to develop a succession plan and secure additional funding, the gallery's financial situation remained dire and it just cannot continue. To honor the gallery's legacy and celebrate its contributions to the local art scene, a final closing reception will be held Thursday, April 3rd from 5 until 8 p.m. The event will feature Michigan artwork available for you to buy and selected pieces from the gallery's permanent collection, as well as a silent auction for a Mark Chatterley piece.
It's pretty devastating that we're having to shut down the gallery. You know, we've been a legacy in the art scene here for quite some time. During the reception, we're going to have pieces from our permanent art collection available for purchase. That's 60 years worth of history that we've had rotating art throughout the gallery. I know a lot of people have already stopped in to look at some of the pieces.
The gallery's last solo exhibition, Dog Days, by artist Eve Holtzclaw, will be displayed in the mezzanine gallery during the new gallery hours until April 3rd. And those are Thursday and Friday from 4 until 7 and Saturday from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. We do have a correction to report. An earlier 6 News broadcast gave an incorrect number of petition signatures that were turned into Congressman Tom Barrett's office in Lansing, urging the Republican to hold an in-person town hall. There were more than 1,800 signatures on that petition, and we're just letting you know, and we apologize about that error.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It was a chilly start to the work week across mid-Michigan, with most of our high temperatures topping out nearly 10 degrees below average for this time of year. We also did have a couple of snow flurries flying across the area earlier today, and if you look very closely at our Capitol camera, you can see that's still the case in a few locations this evening. In terms of temperatures here in Lansing, we're at 33 degrees after a high of 40. Not only was it chilly today, but incredibly breezy as well. In Lansing, winds gusting as high as 43 miles per hour. A very similar situation in Grand Ledge. We're at 33 this evening. That peak wind gusts up to 34 miles per hour. And we are drying things out for the time being here in Jackson. 33 our current temperature, one of the coolest readings that we have seen in the city of Jackson thus far. And the liquid equivalent of snow that we have seen thus far throughout the day, only 1/100 of an inch. So very light in nature, the snow showers that we have seen to start the work week. We made it up to 42 over in Hillsdale. Current temperatures right at 34 degrees. The good news is satellite and radar shows those light snow flurries beginning to taper off across the region. And then notice all of the dry air that we currently have in place off to our west. That dry air will be moving into our forecast overnight tonight, and our cloud cover going to very quickly decrease. Overall, we'll be looking at partly cloudy to mostly clear conditions across the area tonight, and that will allow our temperatures to cool right back down into the upper 20s, with wind chill temperatures in the upper teens to low 20s across the area. We hold on to dry and partly cloudy conditions as we go throughout our Tuesday, and it will be a very similar situation for Wednesday as well. In fact, for most of the upcoming work week, we have a lot of dry weather, a lot of sunshine, and warmer temperatures in the forecast. Our next system really isn't set to arrive until later in the day on Friday. Widespread rain showers returning to the forecast by then, continuing into our Saturday. And at this point in time, it does also look like that system could give us a few rumbles of thunder across the area as well. Again, in terms of temperatures for tonight, we're falling down into the upper 20s across the area, holding on to partly cloudy conditions, and the breezy conditions that we have seen across the area thus far will slowly come to an end. Overall winds tonight out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, for tomorrow, going to be breezy yet again. Those winds out of the northwest 10 to 20, but it will come along with that sunshine and a high of 44 degrees. Our 6-day forecast, again, chilly start to the work week, but we rebound our temperatures rather quickly. We are right back to average for Tuesday and Wednesday, into the mid-50s for high temperatures Thursday and Friday as that system moves through. It does look like it is going to be a fairly rainy weekend across the region, but temperatures at going to be on the warmer side of things, and there is still a lot of dry weather and some more moderate temperatures in the forecast for next week. Notice tail end of our 6+6 day forecast, those highs approaching the 60-degree mark.
I know, it's still shocking though when you look outside and you see the flurries last night, the wind in the flurries today again.
Yeah, I walked outside this morning and very quickly had to go back in to grab the winter coat.
No, it looks pretty.
Yeah, not pretty to deal with.
No, thanks, Kendall.